Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. We're going to go over all the shows, films, documentaries released on streaming over the past week, give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, at the end of the show, letting you know what's also coming out so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always, live from Houston, is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy, wearing, what hat is that?
Oh, Sam Houston. Sorry,
Oh, I just said that was, this USC hats.
my son's
Gotcha,
school.
gotcha, man.
USC sucks. Commanders are in disarray. Ah,
A disaster, as always. Same old, same old. Nah, today we're getting back on track, so it's just a minor speed bump on the road to success, as they
my
say.
fantasy trade with you was giving you the title, pretty much. God damn, I should have not made that
That's a very
trade.
good trade, I gotta say. You know,
Yeah, I got reamed. Yeah, I got reamed with that trade. Look at the numbers now.
uh,
You're the
I mean, at the time it
worst.
was a good trade.
Well, whatever, dude. Whatever.
I'm just
I
saying,
should have waited.
he's gonna have a bounce back. He's got a very easy schedule at the end of the year, so I'm just saying. Jay Daniels is back on where he needs to be. All that being said, talk about way off topic. Let's get into it. First time on the show, we appreciate it. It's a show where we let you know what is coming out. So I don't want to hear there's nothing on TV that's much of nonsense. So subscribe, notification bell, help us out. That said, Drew, let's get into it, man. It was a interesting week, a decent week, I guess. Documentaries on deck here. We got the cold case who killed Jonabeth Ramsey. Of course, I forget what year it was. I don't know why I can't think of it. Back in the
80
80s,
or
right?
90.
90s. I don't know. Either way, it's a cold
I,
case.
it was a while back
Yeah, your
ago.
classic
Yeah.
kind of crime genre kind of thing. Chewy on the watch list.
Um, yeah, I think. I mean, it's not a high recommendation, but fairly interesting. I guess it's middle of the road because it's not necessarily vanilla dry, but it's not the most exciting subject matter, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not. I give my shot because cool cases don't always do it for me because there's no resolution, and we know that.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of theorizing, a lot of things that have happened. This one just the case itself is not to me as interesting as others that I've seen.
Yeah,
I wasn't too familiar with it, whatever, and what was became familiar with wasn't interesting, just something typical. So yeah, off to watch this. I don't think it's one of the better documentaries that Netflix usually does, particularly in the
no,
genre.
it's middle of the
Yeah,
road.
Middle
It's
Road. Yeah,
okay.
we don't recommend Middle Road at the end of the day. It's just no. So for me, it's not on the watch. This wasn't a good watch. Max next on deck. Get Millie Black. This is a new police procedural. Of course, we got a woman who grew up in Jamaica, moved to the UK, has worked at Scotland Yard for a bit, is back in Jamaica obviously as a detective, and you find yourself in the middle of investigating a missing girl who is maybe tied into, of course, every time it's a missing girl is always tied into something bigger, right? And this is no different. Netflix usually does these. I guess Max is trying to do this as well. Um, I think he dropped one episode on Mondays. It's an odd day to drop a show,
Yeah,
particularly on
it's on
Max. Yeah,
Mondays.
on Monday.
Yes, yes.
Um, it's fine, classic procedural, but again, I want something a little more extra, and I wish it would have dropped 2 or 3 episodes to see where this is going to make a final determination. But it was fine. It's if you're into these kind of things, okay, I like her. The acting's fine. Taking place in Jamaica is different, unique, I guess. But ultimately, it didn't get the juices flowing. This has no juice. It's very standard, very basic. I'm saying off the watch list. Chewy.
Very, very bland after one episode. So like I said, I'm not gonna dismiss it yet, but one episode in, and it hasn't given me that hook.
I mean, if you do one episode, come with it, right? If you want to slow things down, episode 2 or 3, I get it. But you dropping one, you gotta get this hooked with one episode. This just didn't do it. There's other shows on Max.
Mhm.
I know shows everywhere else. I'm debating whether to watch the second one. I may watch it and give it again very short leash, but I can't honestly recommend it right now. Documentaries. We got one on Prime. This is if it's in the game, of course, a documentary about
Ah,
Madden, NFL,
now we're
probably
talking.
the behind Mario. I think it's inarguable the second greatest video game franchise of our history because of the longevity, the impact. Madden is a game that transcended the genre, right? It ain't just a video game. People know it's in popular culture. It has been with particularly now with the athletes getting involved, their ratings. It's still a big deal 30 some years later, like almost 30 years, right? If I'm not mistaken. Um,
The first one came out. Well, I guess the first console version came out in
no, it
92.
was
Was
90,
it
1991.
91?
So it's been 30, 33 years. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So and this game is still popular. So yeah, it's for me one of the greatest franchises. But this one obviously focusing on the making of the game, right? 4-part episode, um,
Mhm.
focusing on the programmers, but even Matt himself. And I forget how. Although we saw something, a documentary in Game Changers on Max about this, right? This is more extensive, had more to it. But it's amazing how
Yes.
John Madden was so involved and instrumental in the actual game. He didn't just put his name on it, right? He was
Mhm.
helped develop and
This is
right and put his
Montana
name on
football.
it. Oh, okay, great.
No
Yeah,
offense
and
to
it talks
Joe
about how he
Montana.
was, giving his playbook to them. So he wanted this. He was the one. Hey, this has to be
Mhm.
this way, or the game ain't getting done. Right? He wanted 11-11. Had to be
Yeah.
realistic. All this stuff, and he ensured that happened. Creating. I mean, I love Madden. We grew up in Madden, right? That's that game. Like, oh my god, I even watching. Even, yeah,
That very first that very first iteration on
Genesis.
the
Yeah. And I remember
Sega
playing it, and I
Genesis.
remember there was a time where I had a friend who, Lopez.
And this predates all online gaming. So this is one
Yeah,
v one. You get you and a friend, you and a family get down, pick your teams. You can see each
playbook.
other's playbook. What's going on? So especially you and
You
your
have to pick real quick.
shenanigans doing always
Oh,
waiting.
you wait till the thing go. Hey,
Yeah.
Tekken Ball did the same thing. But I remember because at this when this came out, the first one came out. It's a Joe Montana talking football, or whatever. Play Genesis came out at the same time, and me and Lopez like, what do we get? So I'll get Madden, you get the other one, and whatever. And then, he got the wrong one, because Madden was a superior game. But he goes into it. Look, Madden. Look, he's the most iconic figure in football. In my opinion, I think he has been. Just see, not only one of the greatest coaches percentage wise, and a Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest commentator of his day, and even now, and of course his name's synonymous with gaming. And come on, it's a great watch, very fascinating. If you're a Madden fan, you absolutely have to put this on the watch list, Chewy.
I mean, 100%. Even if you're not a man fan, this was so interesting because yeah, the Game Changers gave us one 40-minute episode, very high level. But that's what Game Changer is. It's not trying to give you the complete. This one really deep dives into creators, the programmers, the guys that came in, where they came from, where they left, the interactions and discussions and behind the scenes negotiating, not only with Matt, but also with the NFL, because there was a big piece
Sure.
on NFL licensing, which basically once that happened, every other football game just went the way of the dodo. The competition, right? I even completely forgot the year that
Yeah,
Madden didn't come
I remember
out.
that.
Completely missed because they missed it. And so, like I said, it brings back some of that history and reminds you of what actually happened, but just how it transcended and, what were the stages where it launched, essentially launched electronic arts, but launched the sporting genre within home gaming, home console gaming,
The
right?
realism that was introduced.
And
Yeah.
it was just yeah, yeah. I mean, with the stage, and even and they tied it in with the current iteration to just that dropped obviously earlier this year, Madden,
I don't know, whatever.
whatever it is,
I get you. Whatever.
25, yeah. And so they kind of brought it all together, right? So it's not just a historical introspective, but it's actually, talking about its development and how it reflects on how they're pushing boundaries in today's version, right? With the current producers and programmers and guys involved. But very, very interesting watch.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to go back. And like I said, 4 episodes, but it didn't feel like 4 episodes. It feels
No,
like I
like I
just want
said,
to keep
it's
watching,
great, and
watching.
the impact this game has culturally is crazy, right? Even the players who grew up watching it,
Mhm.
right? And it's like this is like a rite of passage. Like once you see yourself in the game, you know you've achieved, you made it, right? I'm in Madden, but that's the
Mhm.
goal, right? It's how big this game, the impact that it had. Really cool goes to all that other athletes that they talk to and programmers, and the thing with the ratings is y'all complain now about the ratings. I'm rating this. How can you rate me? 98. I should be 99 or whatever. All that. It's very complex, but now the players are actually involved in that. I think Chad Ochocinco is part of that
Mhm.
process where he ensures the ratings are accurate, right? From an insider, not just someone who sees the game from the outside like us. So that's very cool. Very fascinating. Great watch.
They even talked
The
about the
curse,
Madden
yeah, the Madden
curse, which was
curse.
funny, and
Yeah.
lo and behold, the curse holds true.
That's
Damn
right.
it,
The curse is
CNC.
back. Disney thought it was going away. Nope. So it's fascinating. People know the Madden curse. You just hear it. You don't have to play the game to know what Madden is, right? And even my wife's like, "What's that?" It's about Madden. Oh, the game. She knows nothing about gaming. That's how impactful this game has been. Like Mario, right? People know Mario whether you play the game or not. You know Mario,
Mhm.
right? 2 years ago, a movie came out. made $1 billion. That's the impact that it has. Man is on that same wavelength to some degree. So yeah, great watch, absolutely must watch, no doubt about it. Uh,
I'm waiting for the Madden movie.
Wait,
No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
eventually that's coming out, or a series or something. The Agency is the next one. This was actually on Showtime, Paramount Plus. So I didn't get to watch it. One episode, a huge cast. It's kind of international. What? Not international. It's a spy thriller, I guess. Something that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chewy. Um, yeah.
Yeah, CIA. I mean, yeah. Obviously, a lot of covert operations, stuff going on. A lot of moving pieces, some assignments, some operations in Belarus and Russia and whatnot. So, yeah, but this is a
Yeah,
CIA
huge
show
cast.
essentially.
Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright. What's this guy's? Richard Gere's, and
Oh,
just a
Richard
big cast, big
Gere.
names. How what? I mean, I didn't get to see it. I know
Yeah,
you did probably. How was it?
I did. I did. Yeah, I took advantage of that Black Friday special on Prime, 2.99 for the full Paramount deal of shows for 2 months, even though we have
But
Paramount
just Paramount, yeah.
separately. But no, without the Showtime. But this is a good deal to not to pass
Fair
up,
enough.
at least to watch this show. No, man, I really
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
it. They
Okay.
dropped 2 episodes, so I think that was perfect because one would have done it
Yeah, so what
justice.
I'm
You wouldn't
saying
have
about
known what
dropping
the
one
hell's
episode,
going
yeah.
on. First one is set up. Second episode is okay. They get into the actual, I guess, operation, right? But it's pretty dense. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of stuff going on. Gotta pay attention because there's a lot of not only characters because it's such a big cast, but it's geopolitical. So there's a lot of moving parts that are not you can't just be on your phone while you gotta be paying attention. But very interesting, very well done so
Okay,
far.
yeah.
I'm really
Like I
enjoying
said,
it.
it's probably one I go back and like I said, I just Showtime is just so much shit going on. It's hard. Um, Next one
Mhm.
here, The Madness. A couple of Netflix shows to end off. The Madness is the first one here. This one is a limited series, a parter about a man. He's a part activist, political pundit, I guess, a writer. You know, he's got a little. He got a guest spot on CNN. He might get his own show. He's that kind of guy. And he goes off into the Poconos to write some book. His neighbor, white guy, whatever, unassuming. But then one day he loses power, goes to the guy neighbor's house for some help, finds a guy dismembered, and I think the spa or whatever the case is, and now people are still there who killed him, going after him, and now he's being framed for this guy's murder. The worst part is he's a black guy, political pundit, who is suspected of murdering a white supremacist. The math does not look good there, right? So now he's on the run, trying to figure out what's going on. FBI is involved, so it's pretty much a kind of a standard Netflix thriller in this sense. Chewy on the watch list.
Yeah, man, this is really, really well done. Limited series, but I am really digging it, man. Domingo Coleman, I obviously have known him, or Coleman Domingo, I can't remember which is his first name, but I know him from Fear of the Walking Dead. He was very good. I mean, like I said, Walking
Yeah,
Dead shows, whatever, but he did a very good
yeah,
performance
it's
when I
the
watched that for the
Coleman Domingo, by the way.
short time that
Yeah,
was on.
yeah.
Coleman Domingo. Okay, okay, got it. So very, very lot of mystery and intrigue. You don't know what's going on. A lot of different things. They lay it out in a not a slow burn way, but he's uncovering the truth as you're uncovering, right? Because you don't know what's going on. You don't know who's involved. You got the FBI, you got local police, you got reporters, you got people going missing, people dying, planting evidence. Dealing with ultra right white nationalists, to say the least, but also ultra left. I guess this is one
Mm-hmm.
group, gun loving group, who's taking up, I guess, paramilitary type style agenda against them. So, like I said, a lot of things going on, but I mean, but it's
Yeah,
very,
I'm all
very
for it.
good, very
I
well
think
done.
this is we talked about this last week about creating a good character, a central character to root for. And they do a good job with Domingo's character, right? The main guy's like, okay, we like this guy, he like what he's
Mhm.
doing. Yeah, I'm like it. And John Ortiz, I'm glad to see he got promoted. Who was doing local cop work in Key West and Mad Monkey. Now he's an FBI agent here.
That's right.
He's
Nice
FBI, so yeah,
FBI.
big jump. So good for him. For those who watch Bad Monkey, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so he's
Mhm.
in it. No, but it's really good. I think it's a very kind of deep state conspiracy stuff going on, right? For you, that sounds like your cup of tea. Very good show, and yeah, the pacing. It starts off like right a few minutes of intro, and then boom, here we go, right with the murder. Sometimes these shows wait to the end of the first episode to get to that point. This one gets to that point in the first 10 minutes, right? And it's off and running, and then trying to find out
Yeah.
what's going on, getting framed, and all. Very cool show. I'm enjoying it. I think I've seen 5 thus far. In extra time because we weren't working the last
Okay.
few days. But
Yeah.
very cool. I like that a lot. This last one, Senna. This one on Netflix. Again, limited series. It's 6 part. Um, about a Brazilian racer, F1, who I didn't know at the time. I thought going into it was like, okay, he's probably a famous Brazilian racer and whatever. I have gotten more into F1 over the past couple of years because my stepdaughter loves F1. She's big time into it, watches all the races, knows all the names and all this other stuff and some of the history. And she knew, we started watching with her because she actually knew who Senna was. And I'm like, oh, he's like that? Yeah, and apparently, so I did some research and stuff, and apparently he is considered one of the best or the best driver of all time. He's that level. I didn't know that going into it. So it's about his story, what's going on with him, and what his up and downs. And of course, the big thing with him is that he had a tragic ending to his career. He died in a race, which forced yeah,
Very
34 years old.
young
Yeah,
career. He wasn't. He was only
34. Yeah, and that led
34.
to a
So
host of changes from F1 as far as from the driver's side, as far as safety regulations, and 20 years went by without any other incidents. But by his life, and this one, on the watch this, man, I really liked it. It's very surface level. It doesn't go as deep into his life as some of the stuff that I read, which mostly his biopics kind of things don't do. But from entertainment standpoint, the racing, the scenes were incredibly well done. So well edited, put together, like top notch cinema style racing scenes. Very cool, man. I was into it. My stepdaughter, she was loving it because she's big into it. That part was really good, really well done. I enjoyed this one. We actually ended up finished watching it because she's also a binge whore like her mom, so it is what it is, and she's an F1 fan, so we had to watch it.
uh you've done a piss poor parenting step
Yeah,
parenting
it's
job,
hard to
dude.
go
I'm
against the
ashamed.
genetics.
Shame.
They just have it. It's a gene to
Shame.
binge watch. It is what it is, right? The plans to watch probably 3, maybe 4 at best because of the extra time off, but whatever. But I really enjoyed it. A lot of things I wish I would have touched on, but this guy was, when I read him, he's a tactical genius. He's literally memorizing tracks what no one else did. Incredibly successful, which is why he's considered probably the best, the GOAT, if you will, one of them anyway. Just near at the top of the list. I didn't know that going into it. I was really interested in this one, Chewy. This is definitely a watch. There's no doubt, Chewy. Your thoughts?
Oh, 100%. And this was so, like I said, I knew very little. I'm not a F1 fan. I'm not a car racing fan. I don't like watching cars go in circles or in tracks,
Fair.
whatever. I like to play the game. I was a big
Sure.
fan of Forza and
Sure.
Gran Turismo. Love those games because it was fun to race,
No,
but
I'm with
to
you
sit there and
100%.
watch,
But I do appreciate what they
whatever.
do, obviously.
But and I have a very superficial knowledge. Obviously, there's been some races. There's the
Okay.
Las Vegas Grand Prix, the F1 race, and also one in Miami, if
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, as well every year or every few years. So I know there's races here in the U.S. and they're a big
Yeah.
deal, and some here in Houston. But I may know maybe Michael Schumacher because he was the guy that when we were growing
Yeah.
up, he was top dog, right? Run every race. He worked. I think he was he
Ferrari, if I'm
Ferrari,
not mistaken.
McLaren. I
I think
can't
he
remember
won
what
like
team it
5, 6
was.
in a row. He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they dominate. He dominated, right? But no, but it was interesting to see this story. This starts back in the 70s. It goes
Sure.
back to when he was a little kid, right? And it shows him winning the kart series in Brazil, and then moving on to F1 Ford, or where, and then going to F3, and then finally make it to F1. But his succession was rapid and quick, man. He just had it, right? He knew how to win, and obviously they overlay the stigma and the stereotypes, right? Because they make a point of talking about the Latin drivers,
Yeah.
right, being hotheads, being too
He's
emotional, too
just a little
aggressive,
away from the
that type of
man,
crap,
keeping us
right? That you
down. And let's be honest, and when he, the
exactly
80s, early 90s,
exactly.
that I get it. And, it's a sport dominated by Europeans for the most part, right? And it's a, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a
It was
European.
for the most part.
Essentially, it
Right.
was.
Well,
I mean,
fair
most
enough.
sports are
Right.
European
Yeah.
parentage, right? Origins, right? And so when you think when you invent it, you think you own it for all the time,
Of course. So here comes this guy and he's doing his thing, and they
right?
didn't like it. And they did whatever they
Yeah,
could to keep him down. But no, he's too good. He was too good.
yeah. But it was, yeah, the racing
Yeah, top notch.
scenes were amazing. The action, the tactics, like, it's been going on. His progression up to, like,
Okay.
I think I'm 3 in. I didn't realize it was only 6 episodes. So he just
Okay.
finished second at the
Nice.
Monaco race. We again, we very famous track. We've seen that in
Nice
Iron Man.
fight.
and too, right? They
Monaco
had a
is
big thing
considered, I
on
learned it is the
on that
hardest track,
track.
and no one's won more than Senna. Even to this day, no one's won more
Okay,
at
so
GP.
yeah, amazing.
That one, that's the race. That's like Wimbledon, right? In tennis, if you want to put equate
Hmm.
it to something like that. For those who know
Hmm.
tennis, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the toughest track, and he was dominant in the toughest track in the toughest conditions. That I seen when it was raining, and all is accurate. Right? I checked all
Yeah.
this stuff out. He did exactly what he did, and he was starting at ninth and finishing first, and with the rain, and he said it right. The rain it keeps the cars even. Now it's about the driver and how good you are as a driver, and that's why he stood out a lot because he was just a better driver. The car, in F1, and the car is a big part of it. I
No.
get it, right? Better cars are going to win. This is how it works.
Hmm.
But yeah, he proved that he's the best
Yeah.
driver. It's that simple as
Well,
that. Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
great watch.
yeah. Very
Very
entertaining.
interesting
Yeah, like
subject
if you're not an
matter.
F1 fan, it's really
Uh,
good to watch. It's a
yeah.
really good intro. Like because what's the last thing I saw? Right? A Gran Turismo, which I like. Gran Turismo, cool movie, very good story. Uh,
Oh,
what
I
do you
love
think?
that. It was highly entertaining,
Yeah,
but
very
it was only a
entertaining movie. Yeah.
2 hour movie, right? And now
Yes.
based on a true story, obviously.
Sure.
So there's
But
some similarities, but the racing action in that one was great,
exactly.
and this
Yeah.
is right
Very
up
yeah.
there with it for for a show. It's like, oh, I was surprised how well they shot and filmed
Yeah.
these racing action scenes, right? You say action scene,
No,
you're
of
thinking
course not. Yeah.
fighting, shooting, whatever. Maybe a car chase, not necessarily, an F1 race. And this was amazing, man.
Yeah,
The
no,
way
I
they
think
portrayed and
I think
showed
my
it.
daughter said she's Lewis Hamilton was dominant like up to like 3 or 4 years ago, right? Won like seven in a row. Yeah. He actually
Yeah,
was
yes, yeah.
behind the
Hmm.
scenes ensuring that the portrayal was accurate in terms of the racing stuff. So he had a hand in it. So again, someone who knows from the inside how it should be done. So yeah, very good one. Very
Hmm.
surprised. I didn't think it was like this at all. Be interested in this. Totally wrong. Very good. Very interesting. I high recommend. Really was a high recommend on Netflix. Like 6 episodes is an easy watch,
Yeah.
and all that. So, but that's it for the week. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. We go back to normal next week, and let's see what comes out next week as I try to fix Chewy's screen here. Kind of going all kind of haywire on me. Real quick run through these. Starting, I think tomorrow is Earth Abides, a new sci-fi show on MGM for the 8 people that I heard they went once. Oh, today, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Or
they went up one
today.
subscriber,
Yeah, today.
from what I heard. So
And
good for
today's Sunday.
MGM on
Yeah.
being from the bottom of the list to still the bottom of the list, just one subscriber higher. We got this.
It forced me
Let's
to
see if it's
hold
any
on to it
good,
to see if the
right?
show's
Maybe it
any
is.
good.
We'll
If
find
not,
out
I'll
next week.
cancel.
We got Skeleton Crew Disney show dropping now in the second. Used to be in the third. That actually changed. The
The
greatest Disney
greatest
show
Disney show
ever.
to
That's
come
exactly what I'm
out
gonna say. That's
in the
Kathleen
Kathleen
Kennedy
Kennedy
screaming.
era.
She can write out for the
Goodbye.
sunshine like Jordan. At least the first time. Churchill at War documentary about, of course, Winston Churchill. That's on the 4th. Same day we got That Christmas, one of 100,000 Netflix films, but this is an animated one. Look interesting. So maybe. Creature Commandos, the new official DC product coming out. Although it is animated, whatever, it could be good. It's a Suicide Squad, very adult. That's what it seems like to me, Chewy. Maybe I'm wrong. Black Doves, Keira Knightley is kind of a spy thriller kind of thing on Netflix. That's what they do, right? So I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to that one. The Sticky, kind of comedy about a heist of syrup. Take that for what it's worth. I don't know. Whatever. It could be. It sounds so
Damn
ridiculous. It's probably gonna
Canadians.
be interesting. And then we got I love maple syrup.
They love the
That's high
maple syrup,
commodity, so
man.
like whatever it is, what it is. Mysteries Unearthed, the last thing on the 6 on History Channel. That Machete, Danny Trejo, of
Machete.
course, narrating this, of course, mystery, Earth's mysteries, kind of your classic History Channel kind of documentary kind of thing. So that's stuff to watch as you all
Mhm.
get back in gear. The tryptophan is over. Yeah, the comas were back to action. Football today. Commanders winning. Chewy's fantasy losing. All right in the world again. That said, subscribe, help us out, hit the like button, notification bell, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.